Here's my book review of Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. I'm author Nancy Basile, and I write cozy mysteries set in West Virginia. You can download a free book of mine using the link in the description below. Synopsis. A down-on-her-luck Napa heiress suggests a mutually beneficial marriage of convenience to a man she can't stand, only to discover there's a fine line between love and hate. After losing her job and her fiancé in one fell swoop, Natalie Voss returned home to lick her wounds. A few months later, she's sufficiently drowned her sorrows in Cabernet, and she's ready to get back on her feet. She just needs her trust fund to finance her new business venture. Unfortunately, the terms require she marry before she can have the money. And, well, dumped, remember? But Natalie is desperate enough to propose to a man who makes her want to kill him and kiss him in equal measure. August Cates may own a vineyard, but he doesn't know jack about making wine. He's determined to do his late best friend proud, no matter what it takes. Except his tasting room is empty, his wine is disgusting. Seriously, he once saw someone gag. And his buddy's legacy is circling the drain. No bank will give him the loan he needs to turn the business around, and then the gorgeous, feisty heiress knocks on his door. Natalie has haunted his dreams since the moment they met, but their sizzling chemistry immediately morphed into simmering insults. Now, a quickie marriage could help them both. A sham wedding, a few weeks living under the same roof, and they can go their separate ways, assuming they make it out alive. How hard could it be? There's just one thing they didn't account for. Their unfortunate, unbearable, undeniable attraction. The tropes you will find in Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey include enemies to lovers and marriage of convenience. I was reluctant to read Unfortunately Yours. In fact, when it was released, I chose not to read it. I love Tessa Bailey. I've read just about everything she's written. But the book that came before this one was called Secretly Yours, and I wasn't crazy about it. It did not vibe with me. I wasn't crazy about the characters. I found the buildup of the relationship kind of unbelievable. I didn't like the premise. There were just a lot of things that I wasn't crazy about in the previous book. But then a bookstagrammer on Instagram said specifically that they too did not like Secretly Yours, and then read this because they had received an advance copy and loved it. So because of their recommendation, and I'll give a link to Rate the Romance Instagram down below because she gives awesome recommendations for romance books. Because of her recommendation, I read this and I absolutely loved it, and I couldn't wait to keep going. So I give this story a now what rating. Banter rating for Unfortunately Yours, definitely hit streaming comedy. These two are fabulous together. They have great chemistry. The dialogue is unique and funny and hilarious. And August, the male main character, you are going to fall in love with him. He is a Navy SEAL. He's this big lug. He has no he has no game whatsoever. Whatever he thinks comes out of his mouth. She is insecure. She's been hurt by her family. She's dealing with her own demons. So her wit against his big lugness, their dialogue is snappy and funny and heartwarming and steamy. To be honest, there aren't a lot of side characters in this. Most of the side characters we met in the last book. Her mother, her brother, who the last book was about, and Hallie, who the last book was about. We do meet August's commanding officer, and we meet the loan officer that they're trying to convince that they're married in real life, and he is snivelly. He reminds me of the food critic in Ratatouille. That's who I pictured in my head. So I would give them automatic invites. The setting. Now, this is the big selling point, I think, of Unfortunately Yours, including the main characters. But it's set in Napa Valley at their family's vineyard, and then at August's budding vineyard, pun intended. That was pretty good on my part. It's beautiful. I mean, what's not to love about Napa Valley? So this book, Unfortunately Yours, gets Here's My New Address. The spice level in Unfortunately Yours. If you read Tessa Bailey, you know she can write a spicy sex scene, and boy, does she. I had to go back and reread some scenes because they were so good. She doesn't skim over anything. No. You definitely get like every move, maneuver, nuance of the steamy scenes, and I was here for it. So it gets a level of sex ed. I love Tessa Bailey's books, and funny enough, her last duology of, what was it? It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker. I liked the second one in that series better too, although I still like the first one. And like I said, Secretly Yours, not my favorite. You might really appreciate it. It stars a curvy girl, which I did like, and she's spunky and funny, but I don't know, it just didn't hit with me. Whereas this one, Unfortunately Yours, I really do love. If you found this book review helpful, please give me a thumbs up, like this video, and then subscribe to the channel. That way you will get more book reviews just like this one.